6. Good evening and welcome to the News Express. I am Jennifer Ogogo and presenting the news this evening with me is
Blessing Eme Obona.
The headlines. Signing of amended Electoral Act postponed till Friday.
Federal government's meeting with ASU ends in deadlock. Negotiation rescheduled.
IPOB accuses federal government DSS of maltreating Kanu in custody.
Federal government okays 1.42 trillion naira for infrastructure.
Ukraine urges citizens to leave Russia immediately as tension heightens.
Plus, Diego Simon plots ways to hurt Manchester United as they square up today in Champions League.
Remember, you can always log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. Or you can also join us on this live broadcast on our social media handles, Ozisa and Facebook. You can get us on Ozisa 96.1 FM. YouTube, you can find us at Ozisa 96.1 FM TV. There are indications that President Muhammadu Buhari will now sign the reworked Electoral Act Amendment Bill on Friday, February 25, 2022. A source close to the presidency earlier hinted that the president would assent to the bill today. But for presiding over the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja today, a new date has been fixed for approval of the bill. According to the source, the new date will be honored by the president while confirming that everything has been sorted out. Easy movement of vehicles. So sorry, we apologize for that mix-up. Sadly, the nation's education sector was hit with another setback last Monday when Professor Osodeke
Moving on, the indigenous people of Biafra has raised concern over the health condition of its detained leader, Nnamdi Kanu. The group, in a statement on Tuesday, by its media and publicity secretary, Ima Powerful, said it was no longer sure of the state of health of Nnamdi Kanu in detention. The statement challenges the Department of State Services to explain the reason for shielding Kanu from his family and lawyers. The group also advised the federal government and the security agencies to immediately release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom, as a prisoner of conscience, should not be treated anyhow. It warned that if anything untoward happened to the IPOP leader, the federal government and its security agencies should be held responsible for the bitter consequences of such an unavoidable scenario. They called on the international community and all diplomatic missions to be aware of the proactive actions of the DSS to their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and urge them to prevail on the handlers of the case for lasting solutions to come to bear.
Reports say the reconciliatory meeting between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities has ended inconclusively. Amid the one-month warning strike declared by the lecturers, both parties failed to reach an agreement at the meeting held on Tuesday in Abuja. It was gathered that the grey areas of the agreement had not been satisfactorily addressed, hence the need for rescheduling. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, convened the meeting and led the government delegation, while ASU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke attended alongside other leaders of the union. Sadly, the nation's education sector was hit with another setback last Monday when Professor Osodeke announced that the union had embarked on a warning strike. As a result of the industrial action, expected to last 1 month, academic activities across the country have been grounded in various government-owned universities. Instructively, ASU declared the strike to re-echo its demands of revitalization of public universities, payment of earned allowances, improved funding of state universities, and promotion arrears for her members.
And now to the business scene. The federal government said it will spend 3.53 trillion on infrastructure and human capital development in the country in the next 2 years. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, made this known in Abuja at the town hall meeting of the achievements of the government in infrastructure development. Mrs. Ahmed stated that in the year alone, the government plans to spend about 1.42 trillion on infrastructure and 2.11 trillion naira on human capital development. She explained that the government is spending such huge amounts because it wants to prioritize on infrastructure and human capital to boost rapid economic development. Ahmed said there had been significant progress in the implementation of Appropriation Acts, particularly the capital budget. According to her, railway projects, massive road infrastructural development, and training of manpower are geared towards improving the fortunes of the country. The minister also confirmed that the federal government will continue to fund and invest in basic infrastructure and human development for the overall good of the nation.
And to the foreign scene, despite the West cautioning Russia to refrain from invading Ukraine, there have been reflections of Russia moving more troops to Ukraine, signaling imminent attack. It is against this backdrop that Ukraine today urged its citizens to leave Russia immediately, citing the threat of a Russian invasion that could complicate the provision of consular services. The Ukraine's foreign ministry urges her citizens to refrain from traveling to Russia and those in that country already to leave, citing escalating Russian aggression against Ukraine, which can lead to a substantial reduction in consular assistance in Russia. However, Russia has maintained that they have no plans to invade Ukraine, even as dialogue between both parties subsists.
And finally, from the sports scene, Atletico Madrid manager Diego Simeone has claimed it is really difficult to find weakness in the Manchester United squad, but hopes to win as they square up tonight. Simeone stated this while speaking ahead of the Champions League round of 16 first leg clash at the Wanda Metropolitano tonight. He praised the physicality of the United squad, but made it clear he will find ways to hurt them and triumph in the clash. Simeone admitted that Manchester United's team is much more compact and stronger and could beat any side. Atletico Madrid will host Man United in tonight's encounter as they strive to outdo each and qualify for quarterfinals in Champions League. And that ends the news. On behalf of the editor, Chinedu Ezenago, and the entire production team at Uzisa 96.1 FM. I am Blessing Eme Obona.
And I'm Jennifer Ogogo. Thanks so much for listening. Good evening. Okay, hope you were informed by our news. Yes, I see some comments. Okay, release Nnamdi Kanu now. Yes, that's an authoritative comment. And then, okay, this one says, God will help us in this Nigeria. Okoro Ndukwe. Yes, indeed. We trust God for his intervention.